Some of the long-term viewers of the channel may notice or remember this room. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'll just put a little caveat on this. I don't usually work on toilet macerators. However, this property is a local guy to me that runs a bed and breakfast. This is a bed and breakfast in Warwick. Now, there is a macerator down in that box there. About 2 years ago, we came out to it. There was an issue with it. There was pipe work everywhere, and we had to have this boxing off, alter all the pipe work that's underneath it, and sort it out. Now, as a rule, I don't open them up. I don't touch them. I'll replace them, but I won't open them. However, I'll make a little bit of an exception for Stuart, who runs the bed and breakfast, because he has to keep the place up and running. He messaged me earlier on today saying, Mark, I'm so sorry. He was cleaning, I mean, hands up to him, he's owned up to it. He was cleaning the toilet out, and he had the toilet duct thing, spraying it in. He went to put the lid on. The lid wasn't quite on it. He pressed the button. By accident, the lid's popped off, gone down while it was flushing. You couldn't be more unfortunate. If it had gone down when it weren't being flushed, he could have just fished it out. But it was mid-flush, it sucked it through, and the macerator is actually inside this box in here, remote from the toilet, and it's stuck inside there. Or you can hear it rattling around inside there. So what we've got to do, one of the worst jobs that a plumber will get called out to is take the boxing off, take the lid off the macerator, and see if we can get the lid from the toilet duct out the macerator. I'm Mark, this is real world plumbing, as raw as it gets, excuse the pun. Let's see if we can sort this macerator out. Right then, before we get into the video, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that is subscribed to the channel. However, if you're not subscribed, do me a favour, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, drop in the comments, just let me know what you think to this video, and let me know if you're the sort of person that would fix a macerator or not, because as a blanket rule across the board, I don't fix them. However, you'll hear in this video why I am fixing this one for this customer. So yeah, I'd really appreciate if you got subscribed to the channel, because I want to try and push the followers up a little bit, and it just helps push the reach, and it just means I can make better content for you, more sort of designated videos. So really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up, drop in the comments, and please, if you haven't already, get subscribed to the channel. Right then, let's crack on with this macerator job. It's not the nicest of jobs, but sometimes for certain customers you'll go above and beyond what's needed, as you'll see. So I'll move some bits out of the way here. Let's get the box. Oh, I was going to say let's unscrew the box off. There is a couple of screws on it. It's quite loose, but it should come apart fairly easy, to be honest. Just got my gloves out of the van because we know what these macerators are like. Right, let's get this apart, and I'll show you what we're dealing with. Right, with the boxing off, this used to have all this pipe work going over the top of it. If I can find the video from it, I'll link it above or down in the description. But we had to alter all the pipe work because it came across the top and around the sides and everything like that. So this is a lot easier now to work on. So I'm going to go and get a couple of lights out of the van. I've got my gloves here in a bucket ready, and then we can get this apart and see exactly what's going on. So then, with the power turned off, let's take the access panel off the top. Now I've got my gloves on, and see if there's anything obvious. But what we're going to do is take this off the top. So this is the macerator on the top, so we'll take this out and see if we can see anything going on inside. So on top of here, there's 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll undo them, and then the whole macerator should lift off the top. Right then, I've now taken the macerator and motor out of the unit itself, the 4 screws that are held in there, there and there. We've taken that out, and if you can see inside there, just there, is the lid from the bleach bottle, the toilet duct that the customer dropped in there. Now, it could probably have chopped it up and got rid of it and all that sort of stuff, but fair play to Stuart, the owner. We're just really cautious of these macerators, because without these running right, obviously he can't rent his rooms out and stuff like that. So we've got this out. I will double check there's anything else in there, and I will check with him that that is the only thing that fell in. But luckily for us, with that motor out the top and the access in the top, to be honest, we've got that out of the tree. And before, as I said, the pipe work came over. So let me go and check with him and make sure that this is the only thing that fell into that. Right then, I've just checked with the customer, and yeah, he confirmed that that was the only thing that ended up going down there. So we've got that out, we're good as gold. We're going to put this back together, the reversal of removing it. So it's a case of mounting the motor back in, getting the 4 retaining screws back into it, make sure it's all sealed up, get the power back onto it, run it through, make sure all is good. But for now, we have saved the day and got the toilet duct lid out of that macerator. So then motor back in, macerator unit back in. Let's give it a flush and make sure everything's all right. There we go, perfect. Got the little... Oh, might be something else in there. Might be worth whipping that back off and just double checking.
A few moments later.
Right then, that noise told me that there was something a little bit more inside that macerator unit. So I've just whipped, again with the 4 screws, whipped the top back off, and I did see it a second ago. It must be floating around. I'll have to get my hand right in. The other part of the lid of the toilet duct bottle. So I'll confirm. Well, it must be, because look, it must have gone in and at some point chopped up, because that fits on top of there, a treat. So I'm pretty confident that those 2 parts now are what was causing it. So again, we'll pop it back in, reseal it up, get the fuse spur back in, and give it another run through and make sure it's all right. But yeah, there was definitely something still in there. But we've got 2 bits out now, and I've just had a bit of a rummage round. I can't feel anything else, so fingers crossed we've got it this time. Right, all put back together for the second time. Let's try again. Hopefully, with this flushed, we haven't got that rattling noise, because we've got the 2 components out there. The lid that all I can think of was got chopped in half internally. Perfect, loads better. There we go, sorted. And the good thing with this unit is, I was just speaking to the owner of the bed and breakfast, is that it's not only the toilet that runs through this, you've also got the basin, and on this one, the shower. So you've got 2 lots of fresh water, if you like, running through to sort of dilute the toilet and what goes through there, which in turn goes through there. So yeah, it does keep this one relatively clean, but it's never a nice job. But I'm glad we've got that sorted now, so the owner can get this back up and running and back in use. So there we go, quick little fix, or a straightforward little fix on something that's not a pleasant job, shall we say. Right then, that's that sorted.